So we're going to do a couple examples that pertain to your interval homework. So on interval notation assignment, we're going to do a couple examples from each one. So I'm not going to do the exact one. So if you're hoping for the exact ones, I'm sorry. I will not. I'm going to first start off with the I do. This is an example of a compound. So we have -3 is less than or equal to x less than 5. So this is it in inequality. To write it as an interval, you're going to pay attention to a couple things. Remember, when you're writing, if it has, you use brackets when it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or represented by a closed circle. You use parentheses when it's represented with strictly less than, strictly greater than, an open circle, or plus or minus infinity. So here I have less than or equal to. So because it's less than or equal to, it's less than or equal to, I'm going to use brackets. Okay, so it's going to be a bracket at -3. Here I have strictly less than, so at 5 it's going to be a parenthesis. So that's my set notation. So this is my inequality. And this is my interval. Okay, to go from inequality to set notation, all you're literally doing is adding your such that, your x, and your braces. And now this is set notation. Okay, graphing it on a line. So if I was to graph this, I have -3 here with a closed circle. I have +5 over here with an open circle. And there lies my solution. So, doing a couple more. I have x is greater than 2. So if x is greater than 2, as an inequality, what this is really saying is that x is greater than 2, but less than positive infinity, right? But it's redundant to write this part. So this piece we don't write because it is, this right here, it doesn't have to be written because it's redundant. It's no point. So when I'm writing my notation, my interval notation, this is going to be saying I'm starting at 2, but I'm going forever to infinity. And because 2 is strictly less than, it's going to be parentheses, and infinities are always in parentheses. When I graph this on a number line, I am going to be at 2 with an open circle and heading forever towards infinity. Again, if I wanted to write this in set notation literally means I'm taking the inequality, adding braces, x such that x is greater than 2. I didn't mean to put the, there we go. And that would be my set notation. Okay, additional example here. If I have 3 to infinity, so I have 3 to infinity, what that's going to look like on a number line, I'm at 3, it's a closed circle because it's a bracket, and I'm heading towards infinity. And if I was to write this as an inequality, looking at this as an inequality, I'm saying that x's are greater than 3. So x's are greater than or equal to 3. That's my inequality. To write as a set notation, I would become x such that, and then now it's in set notation. Okay. Another one, let's do x is less than -2 or x is greater than 3. So this is called a disjoint or split inequality, whatever you want to call it for This means I have two things happening. I have x heading to negative infinity and x heading to positive infinity, but they start at different points. So over here, I'm heading towards negative infinity, and or here, I'm heading towards positive infinity. So in interval, that's all I'm doing. Now, as we learn more, we're going to learn that when you're writing in interval notation, we're actually going to end up using the symbol that stands for or, the union symbol. But we're not there yet, but we're going to end up using that. So graphically, what's happening is I have over here at -2 an open circle, over here at +3 an open circle, and the arrows are going different ways. Okay, so to summarize, you have a couple things that can be happening. You can have a value, C, well, let me call it A. You can have A, and A can be open, heading that way, which means that X is less than A. Or if A is closed, then it becomes equal to. You can have B. Let's say I have B here, heading that way. So X is greater than B. If I close it, X is greater than or equal to B. You can have C and D, and X is between C and D. So X is between C and D is going to be the less than symbols, C and D. If I close C, then it's less than or equal to. If I close D, then it also becomes less than or equal to. But notice that they both stay less than. Okay? Lastly, you can have them disjointed. We have E and F. It can be open and heading that way. I can be open and heading this way. So what this is telling me is that X is less than E, or X is greater than F. If it's shaded, closed, X is greater than or equal to F. If this was also closed, X is less than or equal to E. So we have single-sided inequalities, we have compound inequalities, and we have a disjoint here. So let me just single, compound, and then we have a disjoint. Okay. Continuing on your homework. So on your homework, the next thing that you're gonna do, I answered part B already. On 19, on part C. So on part C, you're just looking and analyzing the graphs. So if I have a graph and I'm analyzing it, if it says this is at -4, this is at +3, this is at +3, this is at -3, right? And it wants me to write the domain and range and set an interval. So the domain is how far left do you go? All the way to the left, I'm at -4. And at -4, it's open. So I am parentheses. All the way to the right, I'm at +3. It's closed, so it's bracket. This is my interval. Okay? So my set would be X such that X is between these two, right? And it's equal there. And I'll put my braces. And that's an ugly brace right there, so let's try that again. Still not better, but now I'm going to do my range. So the range here, the range is from bottom to top. So my lowest y value is at -3, and it's open, so parenthesis -3. My highest y value is at +3, so 3 bracket. Again, that's my interval. My set would be y such that y is between these two. So y is between -3 and +3. And at +3, it's equal to, because it's included, it's a closed circle. And I add my braces. Okay, that's what part C is asking you to do. And part D is function notation. So function notation. So on function notation, all you're doing is you're given a set of values. So if I had f of x equals 2x plus 1, and it says your given domain equals, I didn't mean to put the dot dot. My domain equals 0, 1, and 2. And it wants me to find the range. The range is just a solution to this. Your range is your f of 0, your f of 1, your f of 2. Okay? So when you're plugging these values in, 2 of 0 plus 1, 2 of 1 plus 1, 2 of 2 plus 1, you're going to get 1. You're going to get 3. You're going to get 5. So my range is 1, 3, and 5. Okay? That is all I have for you. Hopefully this helps and clarifies some things.